What's up, Speed Nation? Welcome back to the channel, P from Need to Speed. Today I am doing a 5-year ownership review on this 2013 Porsche Panamera GTS. I would like to take this time to thank all my new subscribers and those of you who watches this video. Comment on all my videos and also give me a thumbs up. Please continue to do that. Support the channel so we can grow it and get me to 30,000 subscribers. I would also like to give a shout out to a couple of my recent subscribers by name. If I don't call you out, don't feel bad. I may get you on the next one, or I may have missed you for some reason. But if I have, thank you. But New York, in your city, subscribe to his channel because he's a YouTuber as well. Thanks for subscribing. Jonathan Rodriguez, thank you. Aaron Galloway, thank you. Joseph Marcus, subscribe to his channel and thank you. Oliver Hernandez, thank you. Jason Benson, thank you. T Heroic, check his channel out and subscribe, thank you. And Real Talk with Matt, check his channel out as well and subscribe. Thank you once again. So, what makes this review different from all the other reviews you've seen? I'll tell you what's the difference. You're getting a review from an owner's perspective within a span of 5 years versus somebody taking the car for a day, a couple of hours, or maybe even a week and reviewing it and giving you their impressions. I can give you a lot more detailed information versus those type of reviewers or those type of reviews on a vehicle, especially if you're looking to purchase one. So without further ado, let's get ready to get a cold start and wake up the Kraken.
Release the Kraken!
Right behind me, Porsche Panamera GTS 2013. This review is vehicle specific. So let's take a quick walk around. Real quick, in case you've forgotten, I know you've seen a lot of car reviews before, but I'm gonna go over the stats right now and look underneath the engine. So let's pop the hood real quick. Here it is, guys. 4.8 liter V8, naturally aspirated. Makes 430 horsepower. Married to a dual clutch, automatic transmission. Torque is around 389 pound-feet. So that's what you get for the Panamera GTS, the Generation 1. So for the Gen 2 Panamera GTS, it's a V8, but it is now twin turbocharged. So you get the 4-liter twin turbo V8 versus the Gen 1 naturally aspirated 4.8 liter V8. So if you're looking for a turbocharged vehicle, you want to do some tuning, go ahead and look at the Gen 2. They've done a lot of updating to this from this platform to that one. Made a lot of improvements, but this is what I like. This is what I've gotten, and that's what I'm rocking with. So we briefly discussed reliability of this vehicle. It's been really reliable for me. This wasn't my primary vehicle to drive. That's why the miles isn't there. I know some of you thinking that, well, he hasn't really driven the vehicle. But if something's gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong. And a testament to how reliable this vehicle is, I've driven it from Texas to Florida, from Florida to New York, from New York all the way back to Texas, and from Texas to Iowa, on the road, packed with passengers, and had no issues. So this vehicle has been driven. You've also seen me with this vehicle on the drag strip. Well, not really an actual drag strip, but doing some drag racing with this vehicle. You also see me do some road courses with this vehicle. So even after all of that, taking a pounding and a beating, it's still standing tall. So that should tell you a little something. Even though, you know, when you do those type of things to with a vehicle, it's really hard on a vehicle. And but that's what these vehicles are designed to do, though. It's designed to perform. This vehicle is very practical. It's very comfortable. Let's go ahead and take a look in the inside at its features and some of its comforts. Now, keep in mind, you can option these vehicles to the max, and this vehicle isn't highly optioned. It's very basic. So we're gonna check out what you can get with a, I don't want to say basic, but I mean, it's got some options, but it's not a whole lot of options. Well, you know, you'll see it in a second. It's not bad. Hey, it was good enough for me. A brief view of the interior of the vehicle. Once again, looking at the dashboard, nice leather, soft to the touch, nice contrast stitching, and on the dash here, you still have that piano type finish. Real nice looking. It's not really a piano, it's like a dark black grayish wood grain color. And it resembles close to a piano type finish, but it's not piano. It's actually a wood grain, dark charcoal color wood grain finish. Infotainment center, really easy to use. Of course, the navigation is out of date. There's no Apple CarPlay. There's no Android Auto. So, you know, you just have to deal with that. Okay, taking a look at this center stack right here, the center console. Some people say, some reviewers say it looks very intimidating, and it is not. It's extremely easy to use. Matter of fact, most of these buttons you're not even gonna touch. For example, this controls the driver's side AC right here. Right here, temperature up, fan down, right? This controls your airflow, whether you want to auto reset, you want to up in your face, in your body, or on your feet, and your heated seats right here. This vehicle is not equipped with cool seats. I like cool seats, but it's not equipped with that. But heated seats is right here. If there was cool seats, this would be split in half, and you'll have your cool seats here, your heated seats here. Okay? Right here's your driving modes: Sport, Sport Plus, and you have your suspension. You can adjust your suspension. It also adjusts with your driving modes, but you can adjust your suspension manually. So you could be in Sport Plus and have your car running, driving or riding soft. Right here is this car is equipped with air suspension, so you can raise the car up if you're going over speed bumps, or if you're going over rough terrain, you can raise the car up, I believe 15 millimeters. Right here is your traction control. You turn that off and on. Other side, driver's side. Just like this side, this is the passenger side AC. Same thing, same layout. Up until right here, you have your wings where you can put it up or down manually. You have your exhaust where you want it loud or whether you want it quiet, and you have your auto on and auto off function. I rarely touch this. I don't touch this. This is for the passenger, and so on occasion I may mess with the temperature. Super easy. Sport Plus, I play with that every now and then. I'm always driving in Sport Plus mode. My suspension is always in Sport Plus mode, meaning it's in its lowest setting, so the car looks lower than it actually is. I just like the way that feels, so that's specific for me. Up in the middle, really simple. You got your hazard lights. You can lock and unlock your doors from here. I don't know why that's there, but hey, ask Porsche, not me. Your front defrost, rear defrost, your air recirculation. If you want just the driver to control all the air, then you hit that mono button, and you have your max AC button and your AC on and off button. Simple. Rarely touch this stuff. Rarely. Okay? So it's not complicated. Yeah, there's a lot of buttons, but it's really easy to use and it's nicely laid out. Even if you take a look at the gear shift is nicely leather wrapped, nice metallic finish. It's just not a plain gear shift. It has some aesthetics to it. Looks really nice. You got that PDK symbol right there. That's Porsche's way of saying Porsche dual clutch. I'm not going to say it the way the Germans say it because I'll be embarrassing myself, but that's basically what that stands for. Another feature that I do like is the Alcantara headliner. I don't know if you can pick it up with this camera, but it is a really nice, luxurious touch to this vehicle. I really like that. And the quality of Alcantara is awesome as well. If you happen to watch my 3-year review of the Cadillac Escalade, which has Alcantara as well, it is not the same quality as this. As you can see, the seats are all leather, no Alcantara. I like that because Alcantara does wear fast, especially if you're using it quite often. So I do love the leather wrap steering wheel with the wood grain finish on it as well. That's a really nice touch. I'm 6 feet. Driver's seat is set for me to drive. Watch me get in. Look at that. Not only I have room, headroom, elbow room, I'm comfortable, and look down here, I can control my own climate. Okay, that's an option. 4-zone climate control. I really don't care too much for it, but I can do it. Vehicle is very practical. I also like the motorized sunshades you get on this vehicle, which is here and on the opposite side. You can option to get it on the rear window, but this vehicle isn't equipped with that. But this does come in quite handy, and I like that option. So this vehicle has a lot of trunk space as well. It is a hatchback, as you can see, not a station wagon. It's a hatchback, but the trunk space is really good as well. But as you can see, you have a nice bit of space back here. This right here is a cover, and you can remove this to give you more cargo space. If you have something like a big box that's going to protrude, you can just take this cover off right here, so it won't be in the way. But I rarely carry anything big, so this pretty much stays there. But you see, it's really good cargo space, and the back 2 seats does fold down. That'll give you more space. So the vehicle is extremely practical. Let's go ahead and give it a close by pushing this button right here, and there you have it, one touch. You can also open the hatch by using the key fob. So before I get started on the review, I would like to clear some things up. So if you watch, and I hope you watched my Porsche Panamera problems video 1 and part 2, I'm I'm gonna give you a little bit of clarity on those videos, starting right now. Let me start by saying this. I purchased this vehicle used. I didn't purchase this vehicle new. I bought it from Momentum Porsche in Houston, Texas. It had about 4,000 miles on it, like 4,300-ish, okay? Pretty much new vehicle, but once again, it was used. The salesperson at Momentum Porsche told me this vehicle was traded in for a GT3, I believe. Yeah, I think it was a GT3, which is okay, it's cool. His loss, my gain. I mean, not really a loss for him, a GT3, that's an awesome vehicle. But with that being said, I didn't have the vehicle new. The vehicle was used. Although the vehicle was certified by Porsche and it had a clean Carfax, there's ways to get around a Carfax, you know. Between the black and white, you had a gray area. And there's a lot of gray areas with the Carfaxes. There is a great tool, but there's ways around it. You do your research, you can find out. But going back to the Porsche Panamera video, the problems I had with this vehicle was my tires constantly wore unevenly. And I changed the tires out twice in a short amount of time. Although this car if you drive it aggressively, you will be putting tires on it. There's no excuse for the uneven wear that I was getting. And I even showed you how the tires wore in the inside of it on the video. So with that being said, I was uncertain of what I gotten into, and I didn't state it on those videos. I was wondering whether this car has been in an accident that I didn't know about, and that's what I was afraid of. Apparently it hasn't, but I was afraid of that. So what I was mainly afraid of was like the axles being bent or the frame being bent of the vehicle. I didn't say that in those videos, but that was my main concern. I mean, all cars is gonna have to get an alignment at some point and at some time. So the alignment isn't a big issue. And I'm thankful for that. And if I can find some wood, which is no wood inside of here, I'll knock on it. But I was very thankful that it wasn't a bent axle or a bent frame, because that could be very costly or catastrophic, as you may know. So I didn't state that information in those videos. And if you watch that and you watch this, a lot of stuff will make sense to you. So I'm glad I got that out the way. Okay, so getting into the review of this vehicle, maintenance is a hot topic, and so I'm going to start with maintenance. Let's go there. Actually, it can be kind of expensive. Let's go into scheduled maintenance first. Scheduled maintenance. Like I said previously, I bought this car with 4,000 miles on it, so it didn't have its first service. And that was in 2014. So my first service in this vehicle was in 2015. I had about 8,000 miles on it. So it was definitely due for that 10,000 mile service. I can't tell you what all that service consists of, but it was a pretty intense service for Porsche. And Porsche did conduct the service. It probably would have been cheaper if I went somewhere else, but I felt more comfortable with Porsche doing the service. So that particular service consisted of an oil change, a bunch of checks, I believe brake fluid change, and that cost me about $1,000, just under $1,000. Okay, which is kind of expensive. It's really expensive. Like I said before, if I went somewhere else other than the Porsche, it would have been cheaper, because I recall looking at the itemized printout, and the labor charge was probably like maybe $600 or $700. Everything else was, you know, fairly cheap and reasonable. The labor charge at Porsche was just crazy. So still, I've gotten all my oil changes from Porsche. It's recommended to do an oil change every 10,000 miles or every year. So I have 36,000 miles on this car right now. So I've gotten maybe 4 oil changes, and that cost me around $240 per oil change, which isn't bad, because that's every 10,000 miles or every year. So that's not bad at all. I mean, still is a little high from your, you know, regular vehicles, but this is a Porsche Panamera, so you should expect it being a little higher than anything else, but it's still not that bad. So unscheduled maintenance, I've experienced that one time, and it's pretty ironic because this car was due for a vehicle inspection, and I took the car to get a vehicle inspection, and I was going through all the little steps, and the inspector asked me to push the horn, and when I went to push the horn button, nothing happened. And I was like, what? Wait, what's going on here? And the horn didn't work at the time. So I had to take the car to the Porsche dealer once again. But lucky me, the car was under warranty. So Porsche fixed it. Make a long story short, I was able to go back, get my inspection done, and I passed. That was the only issue I had with this vehicle, other than scheduled maintenance. No check engine lights, nothing. And I'll knock on wood for that. Porsche do have a pretty good reputation of being very reliable, and as an owner of a Porsche Panamera GTS, this vehicle has been pretty reliable. This vehicle has 2 recalls I'm aware of, which is, one was for the fan blower, and the other happened to be for a gear shift clip. And those were also repaired by Porsche. Of course, it was free of charge. And that's, I don't know if that's for Porsches across the board, Porsche Panameras across the board, or just the GTS model. So if you're wondering, if you own a Porsche Panamera and you wonder if you got a recall, you didn't get a notice in the mail, you probably want to do your research for your particular vehicle. One thing I have noticed about this vehicle is it burns oil. Every time within a month of me getting the oil change, and that comes every year like I previously stated, my check engine light, not my check engine light, my oil light comes on. My engine oil light comes on. It says it's low oil. So I end up buying a quart of oil, the recommended kind, and I put it in the engine. It happened 3 times. And it not only happened to me, you watch Mod to Fame, shout out to Mod to Fame, on one of his videos, it happened to him. And I believe on one of the reviewers, I think it was a Smoking Tire, he was doing a review on the Turbo S or Turbo, and the engine oil light came on. He had to add oil in that vehicle. I guess that vehicle was due for an oil change as well. Mod to Fame, he ended up not getting an oil change shortly right after he added oil to his vehicle as well. He has a turbo. So I don't know if that's across the board for all Panameras, but I know for the GTS and the turbo, you're gonna have to add some oil right before oil change. When it comes to practicality, I mentioned Mustang, I mentioned the Camaro ZL1, I didn't mention the GTR, but I am going to mention that. I'm going to mention the Corvette Z06, and those were all vehicles that I was considering to buy before I purchased this one. And the practicality part is what made my decision. I was looking for a muscle / performance luxury type vehicle, and this one I was able to check more blocks than all the others. Yeah, those cars are faster, but this one, my kids can ride in the back with comfort. I have room to put groceries back there, or whatever else I need to haul. I can take trips in this vehicle, long trips with my kids in the back with luggage, and I can get decent gas mileage. Not saying those cars get bad gas mileage, but this one gets decent gas mileage as well. And speaking of gas mileage, let's talk about that. On all those trips I took, I've seen around 24 miles to the gallon, and that's driving this vehicle at average speeds. You know, I typically drive a little faster than the posted speed limit, and in Texas, the speed limit on most highways, open highways, is about 75 miles an hour. So I'm going off of that, and I've seen between 24 to maybe even 25 miles to the gallon, which is pretty good. It's not the best, but think about it. You're talking about a car with 430 horsepower, and that's not bad fuel economy. One thing about this vehicle is it has a huge gas tank. The gas tank holds 26 gallons. You heard it right, 26 gallons. Now we have a Cadillac Escalade, that's an SUV, that holds 24 gallons. This holds 2 more gallons than that. That's a lot of gas, especially when you're only putting premium in there. That can get pretty expensive. So let's go back to drivability a little bit. I want to touch on that. This is the best handling car I've ever owned. I've owned a lot of vehicles. This is the best handling car I've ever owned. Like I said, it gave me enough confidence to where I wanted to put it on a road course, and I was able to do that. And this was the only 4-door vehicle that was on that road course. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. And I had a lot of fun. Yes, I did feel the weight of this vehicle, but it handled so well, and I drove to my limits. I didn't drive the vehicle to its limits. So I could have been much faster, but you know, it is what it is. So this vehicle, love the dual clutch transmission. If you ever have an opportunity to drive a car with a dual clutch transmission, do it. You'll love it. There's nothing like it. It's so fast. It sounds so much better than a regular fast change of transmission. I mean, the sound is just awesome. Love it. Cars are completely comfortable to drive. Handles superbly. I can't say enough about how this car handles. Yeah, at fast speeds, you do feel the weight on like the road course, but on like regular back roads, you'll be fine. So I briefly touched on your driving modes. You have your regular driving mode, which you're gonna get the best fuel economy out of. You have sport, which I tend to be in more, and you have Sport Plus. So what happens in these modes is, in sport mode, you know, you get sharper throttle response, you get better steering response, and your transmission shifts a lot more aggressive. Sport Plus, all that is up another notch. And I like to be in Sport Plus because this vehicle does a full-on downshift blipping. It blips the throttle by itself. It sounds amazing. Matter of fact, the first time I heard that, when I first purchased the vehicle, I didn't know it did that. It actually startled me a little bit because I was slowing down. I was in Sport Plus mode. I don't know if you can hear it now, but I'm gonna do it. And there we go. And you also get a little popping as well. The exhaust is still a little quiet. Of course, it's a luxury sedan. It's not a sports car. It's a luxury sedan, so you don't want to sound like one of those Dodge Chargers or Hellcats. Not saying anything negative about them, but those are muscle cars. You don't want a luxury car to sound like a muscle car. And then sometimes you do. Because I do want a more throaty exhaust note. Because I think this is a little too quiet. So maybe we may see a exhaust upgrade coming soon. Comment down below if you want to see that. So going back to the Sport Plus mode, I recently stated that this vehicle has air suspension. Well, Sport Plus mode works in conjunction with the air suspension. And once you put this vehicle in Sport Plus mode, the vehicle drops down 10 millimeters lower, which that improves handling. I previously stated all of that stuff is customizable. So even when I'm not in Sport Plus mode, my vehicle is at the lowest height. And that's because I like the way it looks and it feels more aggressive that way. So I keep it that way, although I'm not in Sport Plus mode. There you got a little acceleration sound right there. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but if you did, that was awesome. I love that sound. And here go that downshift flipping of the throttle once again. There go that popping. Love those noises. If you're looking to purchase this vehicle, if you wanted to know how this vehicle was within 5 years of ownership, I hope I answered most of your questions. If not, comment down below. I'll be glad to answer your questions. Please get me up to 35,000 subscribers. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.